Hollywood's weight loss obsession has entered a completely different phase. It's no longer just about the number on the scale. Now people are studying faces, hollow cheeks, sharper jawlines, loose skin, and dramatic transformations that seem to happen almost overnight. The phrase, Ozempic face, has become part of celebrity culture, even when there's no proof a star ever used the medication. Some celebrities have denied the rumors. Others have admitted using weight loss drugs. And a few openly said the results went further than they ever intended. Today, we're counting down 8 of the most talked about transformations. And number 1 may be the clearest warning of all. Is Julia Fox. Julia Fox, starting at number 8, is Julia Fox. And her case shows how quickly a celebrity can become part of the Ozempic conversation even after denying it. Julia has never built her public image around looking conventional. From uncut gems to her increasingly experimental fashion choices, she has always leaned into being unpredictable. That's part of what makes people watch her. But in recent years, viewers began focusing on something different. Her already sharp cheekbones looked more pronounced. Her jawline appeared more defined. And her overall frame seemed noticeably slimmer in certain photographs. Naturally, the speculation started. Some online commenters questioned whether Ozempic or another weight loss medication might explain the change. Others suggested cosmetic treatments, styling, lighting, or simply natural weight fluctuation. But Julia directly pushed back against the medication rumors. According to the source material, she told Entertainment Tonight that she was not using Ozempic and said she wouldn't take a medication intended for diabetes patients. Instead, she connected her slimmer appearance to motherhood, a demanding schedule, and changes in her everyday life. That should have ended the discussion. It didn't, and that's what makes her story important. Once the internet decides a celebrity has an Ozempic face, denial often becomes just another piece of the debate. People continue comparing old pictures. They zoom in, they analyze angles, they search for evidence that may not exist. Julia's story reveals the first major problem with this trend. A changing face is enough to start the accusation, but it isn't enough to prove anything. And number 7 faced almost the same suspicion after an even more dramatic transformation. Jessica Simpson. At number 7 is Jessica Simpson. Few celebrities have had their body discussed as publicly and as relentlessly as Jessica has. She became famous in the late 1990s as a pop singer and later became a reality TV favorite through Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica. For years, audiences treated her as approachable and relatable. But the relationship between Jessica and public body commentary was never simple. Her weight became headline material again and again, so when Jessica appeared dramatically slimmer in recent years, the internet reacted immediately. A 2022 photo became a major talking point. Her frame looked much leaner, her facial features appeared more defined, and the usual question followed: was Ozempic involved? Jessica denied those claims. According to the source material, she credited her transformation to discipline, healthier routines, and consistent lifestyle changes. But skepticism didn't disappear. Part of the reason was Jessica's own history. In her memoir Open Book, she discussed the enormous pressure she faced over her appearance and the extreme expectations surrounding weight in the entertainment industry. That history made the transformation harder for some fans to separate from Hollywood's beauty standards. But here's the important part. A history of dieting or body pressure does not prove medication use. And Jessica has not confirmed Ozempic. That makes her case less about what she took and more about what happens when a celebrity has been judged for her weight for decades. Gain weight? People talk. Lose weight? People investigate. Even when she says she feels healthier and more confident, every new appearance still creates another round of speculation. And number 6 shows what happens when a transformation is openly framed as a health journey. But the public still searches for another explanation. Rebel Wilson number 6 is Rebel Wilson, and her transformation was impossible to miss. For years, Rebel built her career around comedy, confidence, and a body type that looked different from the traditional Hollywood standard. Pitch Perfect made her internationally recognizable, and part of her appeal was that she never seemed interested in pretending she fit the usual mold. Then came 2020. Rebel publicly called it her year of health. She started posting updates as her body changed month after month. The transformation was dramatic. She became noticeably slimmer, her face became more defined, and her overall appearance looked very different from the performer audiences first knew. At first, much of the reaction was positive. Fans praised the commitment, but then GLP-1 medications became a major celebrity trend, and suddenly people began wondering whether Ozempic had been part of Rebel's story too. According to the material provided, Rebel consistently framed her weight loss around broader lifestyle changes. She worked with health professionals. She changed her diet. She focused on protein. She improved her sleep. And she committed to regular exercise. She also connected the journey to long-term health and her plans around motherhood. But here's where things become more complicated. Even when a celebrity gives a detailed explanation, audiences now seem trained to search for a hidden medication behind every major transformation. That says something about how completely Ozempic has changed the weight loss conversation. 10 years ago, people might have asked about dieting. Now, they ask about injections first. Rebel's case shows that GLP-1 speculation can attach itself to a transformation, regardless of what the celebrity actually says. But number 5 had something Rebel didn't: a confirmed history of weight loss surgery and a mother who openly used Ozempic. Kelly Osbourne. At number 5 is Kelly Osbourne. Kelly has been famous since she was barely old enough to escape public criticism. The Osbournes introduced her to millions of viewers as the rebellious daughter of Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. Purple hair, heavy makeup, a punk-inspired style, and absolutely no filter. But behind that image, Kelly has openly discussed addiction, rehabilitation, body insecurity, and the pressure of growing up while cameras documented everything. Over time, her appearance changed dramatically. Her face became noticeably slimmer. Her features looked sharper. And the difference between the Kelly viewers remembered from the early 2000s and the woman appearing in recent photos was striking. Kelly has openly acknowledged undergoing weight loss surgery in the past. That is confirmed. What is not confirmed, according to the source you provided, is personal Ozempic use. Still, speculation became intense. One reason was Kelly's own comments about modern weight loss injections. She spoke positively about the idea that people now have alternatives to traditional dieting. Then there was the family connection. Her mother, Sharon Osbourne, publicly confirmed using Ozempic. That made people even more curious about Kelly. But there's a problem with that logic. A mother's medication history does not prove anything about her daughter. Kelly's transformation has multiple publicly discussed factors, including surgery and long-term lifestyle change. Reducing everything to Ozempic simply because Sharon used it creates a story that the evidence doesn't support. And that's what makes Kelly's case useful. Once one family member confirms a medication, suspicion can spread to everyone around them. But number 4 became even more alarming because the public stopped asking whether he looked better and started asking whether he looked healthy at all. Scott Disick. At number 4 is Scott Disick. For years, Scott's image was built around excess: luxury cars, expensive clothes, parties, and the self-appointed title, Lord Disick. As part of the Kardashian reality TV universe, he became famous for presenting himself as someone who rarely took anything too seriously. But by late 2023, viewers noticed something about Scott that didn't feel entertaining. He looked dramatically thinner. His face appeared hollow. His frame seemed noticeably smaller. and the transformation was significant enough that some fans wondered whether he was dealing with a serious health problem. Then the weight loss medication rumors began. According to the source material, attention intensified after viewers believed they spotted medication resembling Ozempic in his refrigerator during a television scene. Reports also suggested that Scott may have explored weight loss medication after gaining weight during recovery from a back injury connected to a 2022 car accident. But those reports should not be treated as the same thing as Scott publicly confirming Ozempic use. What viewers could clearly see was the physical change, and the reaction evolved quickly. At first, losing weight might have looked like a successful transformation. Then his increasingly gaunt appearance created concern. That's where this story becomes important. Celebrity culture usually assumes thinner means better, but Scott's case appeared to reach a point where the audience began questioning that assumption. More recent appearances reportedly showed him looking more balanced and less frail. And that creates the real question. When does a weight loss transformation stop looking like improvement and start looking like excess? Number 3 pushes that contradiction even further because her career was originally built around celebrating curves. Meghan Trainor. Number 3 is Meghan Trainor, and her transformation comes with one of the most obvious contradictions in pop culture. When All About That Bass became a global hit in 2014, Meghan wasn't simply introducing herself as a new singer. She was delivering a message. Curves could be celebrated. Women didn't have to fit a size 2 ideal. And millions of fans connected that message directly to Meghan herself. That's why her later transformation attracted so much attention. By 2025, Meghan appeared significantly slimmer. Her waist was more defined. Her overall frame looked leaner, and photographs from major public events quickly triggered debate. Some fans celebrated the change. Others questioned whether the woman who once challenged thin beauty standards was now moving toward them. Then came the medication rumors. The source material you provided presents GLP-1 use as unconfirmed and says Meghan credited motherhood, nutrition support, regular exercise, and sustainable lifestyle changes. So within this source, Ozempic speculation remains speculation. But the bigger story isn't simply how the weight came off. It's the impossible role audiences created for Meghan. If she stayed curvy forever, she would remain loyal to the image people associated with her. If her body changed, some fans treated it as a betrayal. But body positivity was supposed to mean people had ownership over their own bodies. That includes the right to change. And that's where Meghan's story becomes much larger than a before and after. Can someone promote body acceptance and still choose to lose weight? Or do audiences secretly expect body-positive celebrities to remain physically unchanged forever? Number 2 takes the debate beyond pop music. Because Oprah spent decades at the center of America's entire conversation about weight. Oprah Winfrey. At number 2 is Oprah Winfrey. And few people have a more complicated public history with weight loss. For decades, Oprah openly discussed her struggles with dieting, weight gain, weight loss, and the emotional toll of having millions of people watch those fluctuations. Her body became part of her public story whether she wanted it to be or not. Then came Weight Watchers. Oprah invested in the company and became one of its most recognizable public faces. That made her transformation particularly significant. When she later appeared noticeably slimmer, people immediately wanted to know what had changed. Eventually, Oprah confirmed that weight loss medication had become part of her health strategy. According to the source material, she initially avoided naming a specific drug, but the admission still represented a major cultural shift. This was Oprah, a woman whose weight journey had been discussed for decades, a woman strongly associated with diet programs and lifestyle change. Now she was acknowledging that modern medication had a place in the conversation too. Critics called it contradictory. Supporters saw it differently. For them, using medical help after years of struggling wasn't failure. It was simply another tool. Oprah herself emphasized long-term health and stability rather than chasing a dramatic transformation. And that's what makes her case so important. For decades, weight loss was often framed as a moral test. If you couldn't maintain it through willpower, diet, and exercise, you had supposedly failed. GLP-1 medications disrupted that entire idea. Oprah's decision helped move them from celebrity rumor into mainstream conversation. But number 1 reveals the other side of that revolution. What happens when the medication works almost too well? Sharon Osbourne. Taking the number 1 spot is Sharon Osbourne. Because unlike many names in this countdown, there is no mystery about whether medication was involved. Sharon openly confirmed using Ozempic, and at first, the results were exactly what these drugs are famous for. She lost weight, quickly. According to Sharon, she dropped around 40 pounds. But then something happened that completely changed the story. She became thinner than she wanted to be. Her face looked noticeably more hollow. Her frame became extremely slim. And instead of celebrating the transformation, Sharon eventually admitted that she had gone too far. She said she never intended to become that thin. More surprisingly, she also discussed struggling to regain some of the weight afterward. That is what makes her case so different. Most weight loss stories revolve around one problem. How do I lose the weight? Sharon found herself facing the opposite question. How do I get some of it back? Her appearance also became closely associated with the phrase Ozempic face, a term commonly used online to describe the gaunt or aged appearance that can accompany major weight loss. Sharon remained unusually candid about the experience. She warned that losing weight with medication can feel almost too easy, and expressed concern that younger people might use it without fully considering the consequences. And that is why she belongs at number 1. This isn't speculation. It isn't a rumor based on one photograph. It's a celebrity who used the medication, experienced dramatic results, and then publicly admitted the result went further than she wanted. Ozempic solved one problem, then created another one she never expected. And that's exactly why this conversation has become so complicated. These 8 transformations reveal why the Ozempic era isn't as simple as before and after. Some stars denied the rumors, others never confirmed anything, and a few openly admitted that medication changed their bodies in ways they didn't fully expect. So where do you stand, RG? LP-1 medications changing celebrity culture for the better, or creating a completely new beauty standard? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more Hollywood transformations that go deeper than the headlines, hit like and subscribe for the next video.